All righty, so we are here for day 2 of the Options 411 boot camp. We've got a nice little agenda set before us, got a good number of people in the room. Everybody's ready to learn and ready to put their stuff in practice from last night and get whatever questions you have answered. Please be sure to either put your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we'll get to you. Jamie is my marvelous co-host. He's my right-hand man. I never knew people say talk about right-hand man, and when you say, oh, he's my right-hand man, and when you really get you a right-hand man, you're like, yes, he's my right-hand man. I need Jamie, so he always keeps me in line when I start going all off in left field. He's like, okay, hold up, player. And bring it back, Hoss. He's the one who keeps me reined in as it pertains to all the stuff that I have in my mind to do, which they're not always time to do. So this is our agenda in front of you today. Yesterday we did an intro, we did why stock options, we did a little bit of terminology, showed some pictures, talked about what you need to be able to trade options. Can everybody hear me comfortably? Is anybody having any problem hearing? Any issues there? Want to make sure as we go, we're good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, cool. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the brokers. I hope you all had a chance to look at some broker stuff between yesterday and today. I want to ask some questions so you all can get a chance to speak a little bit. We're going to go through some options lingo, just some, not going to try to get in too deep, but I want you to kind of get a good idea what we're talking about. We'll talk about selling versus buying. Again, we talked buying mostly yesterday. We'll lean in more to selling today. And then talk about what would we use to trade options for weekly income, to get income from the market. And then the options quick start guide. Jamie, I put it in your chat. Can you maybe link it into the, put the link in the chat. I also put it in the,
I'm sorry, the link to what?
The link to the quick start guide. I put it in your Telegram chat. Okay. I also put it inside of the boot camp. So if you go back to the boot camp, back where you registered on Educator2Trader, I also have it there under downloadable files. I think it's called something like that at the top, downloadable files, and you can find it there too. But Jamie's going to put the link. It's on Google Drive, but it's also in PDF if you go back to the place to my website, you can find it there. That's all the stuff we're going to have today. At the end of this, I will do like we did last night. I will, once the video uploads, it took forever last night, which is why it took me so long to send it to y'all. I will give you a copy of the replay or the link for the replay. I will also give you the slides that we go through. So you don't have to worry about taking picture of all the slides. I will definitely make sure that you get those again like we did last night, okay? I'll give you the slides. I'll give you the replay, everything you need to be. So if you don't, pay attention closely, take notes for questions that you have or whatever, but I'm going to give you the slides. All righty. Everybody ready to ride and rock and roll? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. I'm going to go real quick through who Arlissa is for the people who were not on last night. I'll go through just my introductory stuff and then we'll keep it pushing. Like my daughter says, keep it pushing. Arlissa is me. I'm Arlissa Pinkelton. I'm a wife, a mom, I'm a grandma. I told y'all last night I've got 26 grandchildren, 1 biological and 25 by marriage. And actually, I'm a great grandma. I probably should put that on there too, because we have great grandchildren as well. We may have 10 or 12 great grandchildren at this point. Yeah, so I'm a great grandma too. I'm an author, I'm a digital creator, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a mechanical engineer by degree and profession. I graduated from Tuskegee University, HBCU. I'm a math professor. I teach at the University of North Florida. I teach college algebra. Right now we're working on complex fractions and their heads were spinning today because I taught that today and was like, okay, if you've been playing on your phone, you might want to pay attention because this is where it gets hard. We have a test next week, so they tuned in a little bit more. I'm also a stock and options trader. I kind of started into that based on a conversation I had with a friend of mine. He started telling me about how him and his wife had bought this little Porsche. They bought a little Porsche. It was used, but it was still a Porsche. It doesn't matter. It was used. It was new to them. And he bought it cash with their trading money. And me and this guy had worked together. And I was like, what did you do to do this? And he says, well, I decided I could either go to college and get a master's degree, another one, or I could teach myself how to trade options. So he decided to teach himself how to trade options. So he spent a couple of years really kind of delving into the education of options and started trading from there. And I was like, he ain't no smarter than me. You ain't no smarter than me, buddy. So I went just this show. I went and was like, well, shoot, I'm finna go figure it out too. And I started learning and trading and doing all that so I could get some knowledge too. I'm trying to find myself so I can, there I am, hiding behind the computer. Hiding behind the computer. There we go. Okay. So I started maybe a little over 3 years ago. I think I was kind of interested before that, but I started trading really about 3 years ago. I started as an option seller. Then I went and learned the due diligence and the fundamentals and all those good things. And then I did some buying of options. And then I brought my little self right on back to selling options. And that is my strong place, right? I am also a daughter of the Most High King, the Most High God. That is me. I am his and he is mine. All right. I am not a trading professional. I want to make that clear. I'm not an expert at trading. I'm definitely still learning. And I'm not liable for or taking responsibility for any of anybody's wins or losses. Sometimes I don't even want to take responsibility for my losses. This ain't my fault. This is not my fault. I did what I was supposed to do. And there are times that you will do all that you are supposed to do and the market will just go nuts. So, sometimes it works out perfect. You do all you can do is do all that you know to do, and then you have to pray about the rest. One of our people who's hanging out in our community has said, I spent 2 years trading unsuccessfully, which became so discouraging. And through my connection with Arlissa, my faith in trading for income has been restored. She said a whole lot of other stuff, but I figured I wouldn't read y'all the entire testimonial that she gave. But basically this was Corinne, and she basically had decided she was done trading because it wasn't working out. And then she ran into us and decided she'd give it another go. She's still trading now. She's a nurse also. Why is the stock market great for income? Because you could really make money doing anything. That's what I always say. You can really make money doing anything. You can make money washing cars. You can make money cutting grass. You can make money selling frozen cups. You can make money doing anything. You just have to decide what it is and then just go do it. But why is the stock market a good place to generate income? Extra income, replace your job income is really up to you, the level. But basically, there's no time constraints. When you work a part-time job or someplace, if you decide you're going to go work at Chick-fil-A and say, how may I serve you? You got to go when they say. You working 5 to 9, 12 to 6, or whatever hours. That's the hours you need to work. They tell you when to come. They tell you when to leave. That's the way jobs go. Yeah. When you're doing the stock market, there's really no time constraint. If you want to trade for 15 minutes or if you want to trade all day, it's up to you, right? Nobody tells you when to do it. There's nothing that you have to sell. You don't have to sell anything when you trade the stock market. You can do it with just you. You don't have to, have any customers, no clients, nobody. When I was in Bahrain, I had my little office and I traded in my office all by myself. While I was trading, my husband was working and it was just me. So I connected with the people online that you still see in my community, but you can do it with just you. You don't have to interface with anyone if you choose not to. Now, trading can kind of be lonely, which is why we create a community so people don't have to do it alone, because many of us would rather be with people, but you can do it with just you. You can trade from anywhere in the world. I went on a cruise last year and I had internet while I was on the cruise and I was trading while I was there. You go on vacation, long as you got internet, you can trade. Long as you got good enough internet to hold on while you enter and exit your trade, you can trade from anywhere in the world, right? Your income is only limited by you. It's only limited by what you put in, what you get out, time, strategies, all those good things. But your income is limited, is only limited by you. And the two of us can be trading the same strategy. 2 people, 3 people, 20 people, 100, 1,000 can trade the exact same strategy, and we can all win at our own level. One person might say, I want to use this strategy to make $10, and they make $10. Somebody else says, I want to use this strategy and make $1,000, and they can make $1,000. And we can all do the same thing. Nobody's losing while we're winning. It's like the two of us together. It's not like there's $100, and if we both win, we got to split it. That's not the way it works. You can trade the same thing, and we can both win at the same time. And we do it every afternoon in our community with SPX. All the people who win, they all win together at their own levels. Whatever amount, that dollar amount that happens to be, everybody can win together. All righty, this is my disclaimer. Not a solicitation to buy or sell any security or options contract. This is not advice. I am not a financial advisor. The stock market is not easy to predict. You can take losses. The goal is to win more than you lose. I'm not responsible for your losses. You take full responsibility for anything you do as a result of this information. You are the CEO of your own portfolio. Okay. Again, this boot camp is not to be like all inclusive of everything options. We could teach options forever and still not cover it all. It is intended to give you a good introduction into options, into the lingo, into the things that are required to trade options, into strategies that will help you make money. But definitely know that after this is over, you're going to need to do more. You're going to need to do some more stuff after we're all done. All righty. Now let's talk about who looked at, if you looked at a broker or somebody last night or today, if you've looked at brokers and stuff, put me a 1 in the chat. If you looked at a couple brokers, you thought about it, read about it, you know, pondered it, put me a 1 in the chat. If you didn't do nothing with no broker, put me a 2 in the chat. If you have a question about brokers, let's put that in the chat too. If you got a question or something to do with brokers, let's put that in the chat. Sean says she's got TD Ameritrade and Robinhood already. Cool. Artist says she already had one. Miss G looked. Jackie looked. The other Jackie looked. We got 2 Jackies. Got Jackie Matthews and Jackie W. Twana said she looked. Ebony said she looked. Okay, cool. Does anyone have any questions about anything to do with brokers? I looked at something, but not sure if I was looking at the right thing. You probably were. Who'd you look at, Yvette? Is Robinhood okay? Yes, Robinhood is okay. It's great for you as a beginner. As you begin to grow and expand yourself, you're probably going to want a different broker, but Robinhood is a good place to start. It works out fine. Yes, TradeStation is a broker, not necessarily one I would strongly recommend because it's got some things I'm not personally fond of. TD Ameritrade, I would say, would be better. Stockbrokers.com, I don't know who they are unless TradeStation has changed their name. Jamie, you ever heard of stockbrokers.com? Maybe that's the site where you saw. Yeah, I don't know. How long will we have access to the bootcamp information on Educator Trader? Forever. I mean, as long as it's there, you can get access to it. You have the link. I strongly recommend TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim. If I was picking one, I would pick TD Ameritrade. And yes, I think they're really good for newbies and as well as experienced people because it's an easy platform to navigate. One great thing about TD Ameritrade is their education is unmatched. Okay, it means you gotta, go into it and do some things on your own, but they have really good information and education. So if you want to know a topic or whatever, TD Ameritrade has really good education. It has charting. It has a paper account, or then we talked about the sim and paper trading, which is where you can practice. TD Ameritrade has that. Robinhood doesn't have that. Right? You can chart on TD Ameritrade. Robinhood doesn't really have charting either. They show some charts, but you can't really put lines and stuff on it too well. And TD Ameritrade has several different types of accounts. Like if you want just a regular cash account or a margin account or an IRA account, you can get all of those on TD Ameritrade. You can have more than one. Webull, I've heard some really good things about Webull. I'm not sure if you can chart there though on Webull. I've just heard people talking about it. I've not used Webull. I've used Robinhood, I've used TradeStation, and I've used TD Ameritrade. Jamie, do you know anything about Webull?
No, the only thing I know about Webull is that they, but as far as charting, no, but I've heard only about the fractional shares that you can purchase just like you can with Robinhood.
Yeah.
But in terms of how it would be for a trader, I haven't heard, I've heard people using it, but I haven't gotten any response about it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. I know Webull for a long time was offering, if you signed up with them, they were offering free stock and things like that to trade with them, which a lot of those brokers will do that because they want to get you to bring your money to their platform. They make money off of the trades that you take. So I think Webull kind of is like maybe a step or two up from Robinhood, but not quite on the level of a TD Ameritrade. Okay. Jamie put a Thinkorswim tutorial, a YouTube video in the chat if you want to grab hold of that. Okay, so let's move on. We talked about brokers and account setup. Let's talk about calls and puts. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I want to go into a little bit deeper. Okay, we talked about buying and selling. Calls are on the left. Call means like call up. We think about, I'm going to call up my friend. I'm going to call up somebody. Call up. Call is when the price is expected to rise. When you're buying a call, you're expecting the price to rise. I was so determined to make sure I kept my marker thing this time so I didn't have to be looking for it. I'm just going to hold on to it. When you're buying a call, you're expecting the price to rise. When you're buying a call. We didn't really have a discussion about it. Natasha, what question did you have about account setup? We talked a little bit last night about that you need a broker and that if you're going to do selling stuff, you're going to need to get a margin account. But we're going to talk about that more in depth at the end.
Okay, yes, I wasn't here yesterday.
Yep. No problem.
I was just trying to figure out what it actually meant in terms of, I guess, what information I might need, and then maybe what type of account might be suitable for me.
Okay.
Or is it just a regular type of account? I absolutely know zero.
That's no problem.
You're asking a lot of questions.
No problem. That's no problem. So if you're going to get a brokerage account, you're going to, I'll come back to that, Ebony. You want to get an account with wheresoever you are. And if you decide you're going to use Robinhood or TD Ameritrade, you want to open up an account. You have to fill out a little application and all that goes along with that. There's two types of accounts, where there's more than two, but there's two main ones. You can have a cash account or you can have a margin account. A cash account means that you buy and sell and whatever, actually you do buy, you don't really do a lot of selling with a cash account, but you have to do everything based on the amount of cash that you have in the account. Okay, you can open and close as many trades as your cash will allow without any penalties, because there is something called pattern day trader, which means if you open and close 3 day trade, 3 trades, 3 day trades, when you open and close the same day 3 times in a 5-day window, that you will be labeled as a day trader. And then the SEC will basically have them to lock your account for 90 days, because if you're going to be a day trader, you need to have at least $25,000 in your account. Now, there's ways to get around that, which we talk about, more in depth in our membership and such. But you can have a margin account. You can have a cash account, open and close all you want. Don't have to have $25,000, but you can only trade with the money that you have. Margin account is basically where you have a little bit of a buffer in that you have margin money. So there's money available for you to use, almost like a loan. Money is just sitting there waiting. Basics just, I won't say sitting there. It's available to you if you need it. You don't have to use it, but it is there if you do. And as a seller, you have to have a margin account because the seller strategies require that there will be maybe more leverage than your account is holding. So if you're going to do any selling except for selling puts, then you have to have a margin account. Now, there's so much more information to setting up the account. Okay, we're going to talk about that at the end. But to get your account set up and to have us to walk through how do we set up accounts and such like that, that's going to require, you know, subsequent actions because it's a little more tedious of a process. But you do want to make sure you set it up right. If you're trying to trade for any length of time, you want to set your account up properly. Because, you know, if I don't say one bad move, but you can make a move and then they'll kind of prevent you from doing some stuff you might decide you want to do in your trading. Okay. What is a call and a put? A call is the phrase or the wording for a call contract or a put contract. There's on both sides. So calls are when, if you're buying a call, you're buying a long call when you expect price to go up. Okay. And you're selling a call when you're expecting price to stay the same or you're expecting price to go down. You're buying a call when you want price to go up. You're selling a call when you think price will stay the same or go down. You're buying a put, you can buy a put, basically put down if you want to put somebody down. That's when you're thinking price will go down. Okay, you buy a put when you think price will go down. When you're selling a put, you're expecting price to stay where it is or to go up. Okay, you can buy calls and puts at the top. Buying means you're going to pay a certain amount of money for it. If it does what you want it to do, you're going to get that money plus whatever more money you earn. Okay, the most you can lose is what you paid for. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. The most you can lose is whatever you paid for the call or the put. You pay $25 for it. It doesn't do what you want it to do. The most you can lose is $25. You pay $100 for it. It doesn't do what you want it to do. The most you can lose is the $100. When you're selling, things are a little bit different. You have to put another level of leverage on that. And if it doesn't go your way at all, you can lose more than what you don't put any money out when you're selling. You collect money when you're selling, because if somebody bought it, then they had to pay somebody who was selling it. Well, as the seller, which I'm a seller, I collect premiums. I collect the money that you pay $25 for a contract. The seller takes that $25. That's who gets the money, saying, I'm willing to sell you this if you're willing to buy it at this price. Okay. So what option traders want? When you're a buyer and you're buying call options, you're expecting the stock to rise. If you're a buyer of call options, you're expecting the stock to go up. If you're a buyer of a put option, you're expecting the price to go down. If you're a seller of a call option, you're expecting the price to fall, to stay where it is or to fall. If you're a seller of a put option, you're expecting the price to go up. They're basically absolute opposites. Absolute opposites. I'll show it to you on a chart. So if you're looking to see when you would do what, I'll show you on a chart. Yvette says, repeat the call again definition. So if you're buying a call, you're expecting the price to go up. If you're selling a call, you're expecting the price to go down. One thing I want you all to keep in mind is that this is a whole new level of information and a whole new level of lingo. It's a whole new education for many of us, because you don't talk about calls and puts in general conversation. Nobody's talking about strike prices and stuff in general conversation. This is stuff that you've not necessarily heard. So it means the definitions and the lingo is going to have to be something you may spend some time on. So this is a chart here. It's the 5-minute chart. Let me verify. You said that we will have access to this video. Yes, Natasha, you will have access. Like, this already heavy. I need access. Yes, you will have access to this video and last night. So this is a chart. Remember, we talked about charting a little bit last night. We didn't go into it too deep, but this is a 5-minute chart. The 5-minute chart basically means each of these candles is 5 minutes worth of data, 5 minutes worth of price action. The green candles are the ones that were going up, and the red candles are the ones that are going down. If a candle is green, then it opened at the bottom and closed at the top. If a candle is red, it opened at the top and closed at the bottom. Okay. If we were looking at this chart and we're talking about calls and puts, right? Remember, calls, we want to be going up and puts going down. If we were at this spot here, you want to kind of enter things at pivot points. This is called a pivot point. At this point, you would have either wanted to buy, I need to put a buy in front of that. You either want to buy a call, thinking price will go up, or you would have sold a put. At this point, because you're thinking price is going to, well, at this point it started going up, there you would have either bought a call or sold a put. Okay. And if you were up here, let me change the color to blue so we can see something different. The blue line would be up in here. At this point, price starts going down. This is called resistance. Up here, remember, resistance is above us. Support is below us, like support hose. At resistance, you expect the price to go back down. So at this point, you would buy a put, or you would sell a call. Remember, I told you they're exact opposites. If you're a buyer, you would do buying stuff. If you're a seller, you would do selling stuff. Buyers pay money to get into a trade. I want to buy something, like if I was going to Walmart and I wanted to buy something at Walmart, I would pay to buy it. So buyers pay a premium when they want to buy something. The seller, Walmart, the store, is going to receive the money that you want to get, that you give them for the item that you want. Sellers receive money, buyers pay money. Buyers pay, sellers receive. Okay. This chart here, you can change charts to where they're 15-minute candles or they're daily candles, or I was trying to go here so you can see, I think I opened up Trading View on my screen. I did. So we're looking here. You've got, this was SPX today, S&P 500. And this is what happened today in today's price action in the 5-minute charts. These are all 5-minute candles. Let me go back to get I want red again. I am a seller, Yvette, and that's who I coach. I coach sellers. So these are all 5-minute candles. Each one of these candles, 5 minutes worth of information. This shows all day. March the 2nd was the beginning here. This is the start, the date of which we started. And these are all the time frames along the day, letting you know what did the stock do all day long. and then it closed at 4 o'clock. The stock market opens at 9:30 Eastern time, and it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time. It opens at 9:30, closes at 4. It's all Eastern time. So if you're someplace else and you're in Central time, then you got to adjust. You have to adjust your when I was in Bahrain, the stock market opened at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock my time, the stock market opened. It might have been 4. Because of the difference in time, 4:30, I think it was, because of the difference in the time zone. So I had to adjust my life to match the trading. And I would trade, because in Bahrain, we were 8 hours different. So it would be 4 p.m. at the close of the day, trading day, and it would be midnight for me. I would have traded all afternoon when I was trading. So you trade 9:30 to 4 o'clock Eastern time. If you're someplace else, then you have to get on the time of the market. Okay, I'm going to change this, but just like these are 5-minute candles, I can select this here and change them to 15-minute candles. Now, this still shows you what the day did from the second. We just turned it down to 50. Each of these candles is now worth 15 minutes worth of time, 15 minutes worth of data and price action, as they say. Like if you're looking at this candle right here, this is a big green one right here. This candle started around 39.50 something, maybe 52, and it went up to 39.65 or so. That's mean the price went from 39. Let me put my mouse on it. At the top here, let me make sure I can show you. This right here gives you the data of what that particular candle did. I'm putting my mouse on it, and it says that this candle opened, that O said it opened at 39.53, which was the price, the price of SPX, 39.53. The H means the high of this candle was 39.65. The low of this candle was 39.52, and it closed at 39.65. It opened at 39.53 and closed at 39.65. And you have this for each candle. That information changes per candle. You can change this to a 30-minute candle. You can actually change it to whatever amount of time you want. Some of these are built in, or you can set your times, but this basically says that these are 30-minute candles. Each of these candles was 30 minutes worth of information, 30 minutes worth of price action. You can go the hour, the day, the week, the month. You can continue to go. This is what charting is. And we chart support and resistance, which means we're looking for places where the price goes and turns around. Where does price go to and turn around? So let me put a few, I'm just going to show you a few places where you might look at that. Like here, price went down to that point and then turned and went green. Same thing happened right in here. Price went down, turned around. Some of these lines are probably going to throw your eyes off, but there's an area up here where price went up and then turned and came back down. Okay, that's support and resistance, which we'll spend a lot more time talking about that as we move forward. As we move forward. Okay, let me go back to our slide to the left, slide to the right. Here we go. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. There we go. Okay. A buyer has the right to exercise and buy or sell 100 shares of stock. This person is called a call or a put holder. It's also known as being long. When you're long, you're wanting it to, you bought something. You bought a call or a put when you're long. A seller, though, has the obligation to buy or sell at assignment 100 shares of the stock. This person is called a call or put writer. Okay, so a holder means I bought it. A writer means I sold it. This is called being short. It means I'm selling it. I'm believing price is not going to do what you think it's going to do. So I'll sell you a contract saying it's not going to do that. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do, but it's going to do what I want it to do. Okay, options contracts. And this is getting into the weeds for sure, but I want to make sure I share with you what you're looking at when you're looking at your broker stuff. There's an option pricing table. Some of these things also, if you look at the videos that I gave you inside of the boot camp, I gave you maybe 5 or 6 videos that you could look at. They weren't long. If you didn't look at them, no problem. You will still have access to them, but I go into a lot more detail on these things in those videos because I've got the time and I can be a little more specific with the things I'm saying. Option pricing table is also called the option chain. Everything you need to know about the options contract, you can find on the option chain. Please tell me I am recording. I don't see the thing that says recording.
I heard it say.
Yeah, it's recording.
It's recording.
Alyssa.
Okay, because I see it says pause recording. Who don't be making me nervous. I be like, oh, la, la. Ooh, okay, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It looks a little different from broker to broker. The option chain looks a bit different from broker to broker, but all the information is there. Okay, we talked a little bit about bid and ask yesterday. When you're bidding, that's the amount a buyer is willing to pay for a contract. We pick bid when you're selling. For sellers, this is the column that you're working with, is the bid column. And the ask is the lowest amount a seller is willing to sell the contract for. Think about it being the asking price. This is what you're going to have to pay for it when you're buying. You're going to pay the asking price. You go to the store and they tell you that eggs cost $3.50. That's what they're asking for them. And as the seller, they're saying, I'm selling them for this price, and you're willing to buy them for that price. Not willing, but you know, you don't really have a choice. We have to buy them for whatever they say. The word premium is used. It's basically the price. The premium is the amount that you're going to pay for the contract, or it's what you receive if you're selling it. As a buyer, you pay this. As a seller, you receive it. If you're buying, the amount you will pay, the premium, is in the ask column. If you're buying, you're paying what's in the ask column. If you're selling, the amount you're going to receive, is in the bid column. One of the things we love about being sellers is as soon as I enter the trade, they give me my money. I don't have to buy and hope it does what I want it to do. When I enter the trade, they give me my premium right away. Now, I do need the trade to do what I think it's going to do in order for me to keep that money, but they do give it to me right away. That's not too bad. Remember, if you're going to a job and you're going to go paint somebody's wall, right? And they pay you the money right away to paint their wall. They pay you all the money up front. That's not a bad gig, huh? They pay you everything you need up front. You're like, yeah, this is good. And you can take that money and go do other stuff with it. Now, if at the end of the job, there's some overage, you may have to give them some money back, but they give you the money up front. Yeah. Yes, yes. I think that was Shanika that just came in. Shanika, hey there. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. All righty.
Miss Arlissa, can I ask a question right quick?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Can you go back to the last slide? Because I guess my glasses must be foggy. Okay, can you ask about the okay, I see the bid and the ask. The B, is that in the blue? What's that in the blue? on the
So
call?
the blue is, that's in the money, at the money, out of the money. Bid and ask are in this area. This is the bid. And I have a slide coming up that's going to be a little clearer so you can see it better. But this is the bid, this is the ask. And there's one on each side. There's a bid and ask on each side, on the call side of the option chain and on the put side. Notice this says calls and this says puts. The amount of money here is in the premiums area. This is the box of the bid and ask prices. Notice this is coming like dollars. So if you see something like 2.5, remember we talked about an options contract is 100 shares. So every options contract you multiply times 100, and that is what you're either going to pay or receive. You're either going to pay $250 or you're going to receive $250. Take these amounts and multiply times 100. Okay. Moving on. Okay, a strike price. Strike price is the price at which the buyer or seller is obligated to complete the transaction. So if I say I'm going to buy a call at 300, I'm saying I'm willing to buy these shares at $300 a pop, is what you're saying. You don't have to exercise that option, but you're saying I'm willing to buy them at $300. If you're buying a put, you're saying I'm willing to buy this at this price. Selling, you pick a strike price, and that basically means this is where you don't think price will go to if you're selling. When you're a seller, if you decide you want to sell at 300, you're basically saying, I don't think the price is going to come to 300. Okay, when you're selling, you're saying, I don't think it's going to come here. When you're buying, you want it to go there and past it. That's a big difference between the two. I'm going to talk a lot more about why selling is a better move here soon.
I got a question real quick.
Go ahead, jump in.
Okay, so you're saying when you're selling it, you don't want it, so you want it to stay below 300 or you want it to stay over 300 when you're selling? I know when you're buying, you want it to hit the 300, but
Yeah.
when you're selling, you want it to stay under or is that over?
It depends on if you're selling a call or selling a put. So if you're selling a call, let me turn in here. If we're selling a 300 call, then you want price to stay below. You want price to stay below 300. I think there's a slide coming up that talks about this too. But if you're selling a 300 put, you want price to stay above 300. So it depends on which trade you're doing. Are you selling a call or selling a put as to where you want price to stay on which side? Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Moving forward. Here is the option stuff about the Greeks. You may have heard the Greeks mentioned. We talked about them a little bit yesterday, but not a whole lot. Delta is the change in the price of the option. Delta has a few different things that it does. Delta tells you the likelihood of price coming to that price. So a delta of 0.05 means there's a 5% chance that price is going to get here before it expires, because there's expiration dates on every options contract. Delta tells you the likelihood of price making it to that place. Delta also tells you how much money you're going to make for every dollar that the price moves. So if your delta is 0.05, it's saying for every dollar this price moves, I'm going to make $1. I'm going to make $5. If I had a delta of 0.5, which is 50, That's saying for every dollar this price moves, I'm going to make $50, right? Because remember, everything's worth 100. But a 0.5 delta also says there's a 50% chance that price will be here at expiration. Right? So delta has a couple different things that it can be used for. It's a probability of success, and it's also the change in price of the option per $1 move of the underlying stock. Theta is the time decay, and time to maturity. Theta is time. I remember it because it's a T that helps me remember that T stands for time. Theta is the seller's best friend. We want time decay because the quicker we can get to expiration, the better off we are. We don't need a lot of time. We don't worry about our premiums getting eaten up by theta. We want that to happen. Nope, you don't have to own shares first to be a seller. You don't. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. Is there a number that's a good delta? It all depends on what you're doing, what strategy you're running. But generally, if as a seller, you want a delta that is lower when you enter because you don't want price to come to where your strike price is. So you want a delta that's going to still give you decent premium so you can take in a decent amount of money, but you also don't want price to be right on top of it when it comes to expiration, because that means you won't get to keep your money. As a seller, we don't use Vega, but it's implied volatility. Implied volatility is like inside of, it's a whole deep explanation that I would have to talk in circles to explain it. But implied volatility basically says there's some volatility built into this particular stock, this particular strike price based on outside things. If there's a meeting that's happening where the Fed is going to talk about raising interest rates, then there's a lot of volatility. If it's time for them to have earnings, there's a lot of volatility. If it's a meme stock like an AMC or something like that, there's a lot of volatility because it moves like Coinbase. Some of the stocks that are very real popular or they're traded a whole lot, those have high implied volatility. Gamma is the rate or speed of change. I've never used gamma for anything, but it is part, and I definitely have never used rho. Delta and theta are the two that we use as sellers. These are the only two we really watch and we're concerned about as sellers is delta and theta. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so this is what the option chain looks like. I hope you can lean in on your computer or zoom in on your phone. Yeah, volatility is when it's moving up and down, sometimes very violently. You got the underlying stock, which is SPY in this case.
Alyssa, can you zoom it out? It's not allowing.
I don't know if I can. I really don't.
Because it's sharing your screen.
Yeah. I don't know if I can zoom. IT baby, can I zoom?
What?
I don't think I can make this any bigger.
What browser are you using?
I'm using.
I thought I saw at the bottom of your screen where it had the arrows to go out. Yes, right here in the corner. Click on
these
that.
are the arrows to go in. This takes it off. This turns off full screen.
It's at full screen.
Ma'am, what browser are you using?
I'm using Mozilla.
Firefox, okay.
If I right click, it doesn't let you zoom there either. You know what? Remember, we're gonna get the slides, but I don't think I can zoom it. You just gotta have to lean your eyes in.
On my Firefox, at the top of the browser on the right, there's those three lines. If you click that and go down, you should see Zoom.
Let me see if I can do it this way. If I can come out of full screen and take us into this.
Oh, I see what's
Yeah, you know,
going
I'm
on here.
into, oh goodness, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, what about if you go up to the middle button at the top by the X outside of Canva, go all the way up towards the top, and where yeah, click on that and see if that'll allow you to expand it.
That may be- Okay, so we can expand here. This is
Okay.
bigger than it was.
Ma'am.
So this is the underlying up here in the top left corner. Current price is right here. 460 is the current price. On the left, we've got calls, right? Expirations in the middle here. These are expiration dates. You can pick different expirations. Remember, I told y'all yesterday, you can go out a day or 2 days or a week or a month or 2 years. You can go and buy options contracts all the way out there. You got puts on the right. Strike prices are here. Okay, you got the bid and ask. We were talking about the bid and ask. Those are all here. There's a bid and ask on the call side. There's a bid and ask on the put side. Okay, this is just what I'm just showing you what an option chain looks like. Okay, let me go to the next one because I believe we've got, yeah. Here is what it looks like. Nope, I don't want to lock it. Here is what it looks like on the app. If you are on the iPad app or on the app on your phone or whatever, it's going to look a little bit different than it does if you're looking at it on the desktop, but all the same information is still there. You've got the underlying, which is SPY is up here in the top left, current price. These are the buying and selling if you're doing just shares. I'm on options. You could also be on the chart. They have charts here in Thinkorswim. This is TD Ameritrade. News about that particular stock and options, and then your own portfolio things there. You got calls on the left. Strike prices in the middle, puts on the right, expiration date, bid and ask, and so in those same columns. Okay, you can trade. The good thing, another thing I love about Thinkorswim is you can trade, you can have your computer open and have your phone or your iPad or whatever else, or multiple screens open, and they can all be open at the same time. Some brokers like TradeStation, you can only have one screen open to their platform at a time. So if you are in your computer and you want to look at it on your tablet also, it's going to close the computer app while you open up the tablet.
Okay, may I ask a question?
Yep.
All right. And I'm sorry to sound so ignorant.
Don't apologize. Just go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I don't. So the actual stock is SPY.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the options chain? What am I looking at here? What does it do? What's its function?
Okay, so if you're wanting to buy options or sell options, all of that takes place. I see your hand, Jackie. I'll come to you in a second.
Or SPY,
all of that
right?
takes place from the option chain. If you are buying an option or selling an option on SPY, then you have to go to the option chain on SPY in order to see the prices, to see all the information, to push the button in order to buy it. You have to do all that stuff from the option chain.
So the option chain is like a menu.
It's like a menu. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Good way to put it.
And like, so I can buy it at $7.14, or I can buy it at $6.23. Is that what we're saying?
Yep. Well, you want to buy in the ask column, but yes, 724, 632, 543. You can buy at either one of these prices. Yeah.
Okay. Now, who's doing the asking?
The person who's selling.
Who's selling? All right. Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
There's always a buyer and a seller on both sides of this contract. There's a buyer and a seller.
Okay. And then strike again is, I'm sorry. And then strike again is?
The strike is the price. So did you see that SPY is $460 right now?
Right.
If I say I believe it's gonna go down to 456, then I can buy a put at 456, believing it's gonna go down there. Right, so these are the prices. These are like stock price or strike price means I believe it's going to come into this area, it's going to come in this direction. These are the places where you can select to buy at this place for this price.
Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jackie?
Oh, I just wanted to let everybody know that if they look at the top where it reads you're viewing Arlissa's screen, it's probably green. If you choose the drop down for the view options, then you can change the size of the window. You probably have it on fit to window right now, but you can choose to make it larger. And then that way, if it's a small chart, graph, or whatever's being shown, you can make it bigger right there.
Oh,
You see it?
right here, Jackie?
Right at the top, if you go to the very top, you see viewing, well, you probably can't see it, but
Right.
for us, it reads you are viewing Arlissa's screen. And then next to that, you'll see view options. And it's like a green bar at the top, like a lime green bar at the top. But if they choose view options in the drop down, it'll have like a lot of different options, fit to window, 50%, 100% of original size. And that way, see, they can make larger, what they're looking at.
Oh,
And that way you don't have to try and figure out how to make it bigger on your screen.
gotcha.
What she's referring to is inside of your Zoom chat box. So when you're inside of Zoom, you have at the top, you have that you are viewing such person's screen at the top of your window. That's what she's referring to.
All righty. This is,
I'm
Go
sorry, I
ahead.
have a question.
uh-huh.
Is the price moving according, I'm not sure if I'm going to ask this correctly. How is price moving? Is it like if you have like the 15-minute chart, is it coinciding with the charts, or how are we coinciding and seeing how price is moving?
Okay, so as these premiums change prices as the price of the stock goes up and down. So the closer the stock price gets to the strike price you picked. So if we had 460, but then we picked 456, as price starts coming down towards 456, then the price of those premiums goes up. When the price of the stock is closer or gets closer to your strike price, the price of premiums starts to go up. So proximity matters. If price is going away from your strike, then the prices are going down. If the price of the stock is coming towards your strike price, then the prices of the premiums are going up.
How is this coinciding with the chart?
So it's coinciding from the standpoint of the chart is just showing you what price is doing.
What? Okay.
Yep, the chart is just showing you this is what price is doing. It's just like it's showing you this is what's happening. That's all the chart is doing. So this is what it looks like on Robinhood. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. You got SPY here up here in the top. You got the current price of SPY. At the time I took this picture, current price of SPY was at $459.94 at the time. You've got SPY. I've selected buy a call, but I could always toggle it to sell a put or sell a call. You kind of just pick the thing you want there, right? They got an expiration date up here at the right. This is the premium or what it's going to cost you. Over here, remember, you need to multiply that times 100 to find out what is the actual cost. And then you have a bid and ask down here. Now, this won't matter as much to picking the bid or the ask column when you're on Robinhood, because Robinhood gives you the opportunity to pick whether you want to buy or sell up here. When you're in Thinkorswim, you got to pick the right column in order to buy and sell. But when you're on Robinhood, you toggle these things at the top. And that's what gives you a buy or a sell. The strike price is 461 and you're buying a call. Current price, again, is down here in the middle of the option chain too. Okay. That's what it looks like on Robinhood on the desktop. This is what it looks like on the app, where it just kind of lists them down like this. You got the expiration dates across the top. You see at the top there, it says we're SPY and we're buying a call. You can toggle here just like you did on your computer. You've got 461, 460, you got the strike prices, current prices in the middle, and it's telling you here, this is what it's going to cost you to do what you're trying to do. Things look different. All these things, we're going to definitely get deeper into them. You hang out with me a little longer, we'll get deeper into those.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
So when we look for strike, when we're looking at strike price or even whether the stock will go up or down, that's going to be dependent on the types of strategies, or is that a type of skill in terms of just looking at the chart?
So it's as far as price going up and down, you will look at what did price do. We look at what's called price action. What did price do in the past? If you saw that in the past, price came down to a certain place and reversed, then you can tell that there's support there, and it probably will do the same thing potentially in the future. If it did that before, then it'll probably do it again. Let's say we're looking at this chart here, and let me take us off the day. I want to take us to a smaller time frame so I can get rid of some of these lines. But if you're looking here and you say, okay, the last time price came down into this area, it turned around, then it's probably going to do that again. So you start to, this is why you do charting. This is why we learn, I will teach you how to chart, is it says, okay, if this is a support area, then if price was to come back down here again, it's probably going to be support again. If you look here over in this part right here, there was a support area right here at like 39.40. Price went up a little bit, right? Then it came back down to 39.40, and you could say, well, support was at 39.40 here, so it's gonna do the same thing potentially the next time it comes here. And what did it do? It came right here again, and then from that point forward, it went the rest of the day off of 39.40. So we look to see what did price do previously, because that gives you an indication of what it may do again. Of course, it does, nothing is ever 100%, but you say, well, the last time it came here, it did this. So the next time it comes here, it may do that again. That's how you determine whether or not you would say, okay, well, I see this as a support area. So from here, again, I could buy my call if I'm thinking of that, or I could sell a put. Put means both of these means I think it's going up, which is what it did for the rest of the day.
And by support, you mean it appears to be stagnated?
Say again.
By support, you mean it appears to be stagnated?
Like that means that you're coming down to a place underneath you that is a support area. It's like foundation underneath you. So support holds you up, and then it can bounce almost like a trampoline. The bottom of the trampoline is like a support. It can come down and go, oh, good, poop, and then it can push you back up. Support is really more so a turnaround place, more so than it is a stagnation place. It's more of a support, but maybe turn around here going underneath us, and it may turn around above us. If you have resistance, then it may hit that point and come back down.
Okay.
Okay. Selling versus buying. Why should we be a seller? Why should you be a seller? Well, there's more ways to win when you're a seller. You can win in 3 different situations. If price moves the way you want it to move, you win. Right? So if you sold a call underneath a place, let's say you're at 300 and you decide, you know, I want to sell a call here. For us, it would be a call credit spread because we don't do flat out calls, but we're talking about credit spreads a little bit later. So if I sold, sorry, a put credit spread under here, not a call credit spread underneath there, a put credit spread underneath here going up. Come on, I need my pen back. Okay, so if we're going to sell a put credit spread at 300, thinking price would go up, then if price actually does go up, I win. If price just stays here, let's say the stock price is here and it's just kind of hovering in here, but it's not down at 300, I still will win. Win meaning I keep the money they already gave me. If the price comes down some, but doesn't come all the way down to 300, I still win. Because win means I entered this trade. I decided I wanted to do 300. They gave me $50 in premiums. And as long as the price is not at 300 at expiration, then I get to keep this $300. I mean, there's probably this $50. I'm looking at the 300. Then I get to keep it as long as the price doesn't come down to my 300 at expiration. I get to keep that money. And even if it does come down into this area, but it goes back up and in expiration, it's above at expiration, I still get to keep the money. I get to keep the whole $50. If you're going the other way around, let's say you were selling a call up here. Maybe you were selling a call at 400. Right? This may be the price. You said, this is the line. I don't believe it's going to come up to 400. And price, the option is just kind of moving all around, but it doesn't come up to 400, or it goes up, but comes back down. If price moves down, I win. If price just stays flat like this is doing right here, I still keep the money. If price does go up towards 400, but doesn't go, but at the expiration, it's below 400, I still get to keep the money they gave me. Because whoever bought that call, who wanted it to go above there or below there, because selling a call is the same as buying a put, who wanted it to go down and it didn't go down, then they don't get to keep their money. So we like selling because we can win in 3 different situations. We don't have to have a prime entry or prime exit. You don't have to watch it per se. You just need to know where price is going. I won't say you don't have to watch it at all, especially if you're dealing with SPX, but if you're dealing with other stocks, you may not have to watch it as closely. When you're a seller, you collect money. When you're a seller, you're the person who's selling hot dogs. So people who come to buy hot dogs, they pay you. You collect money to enter the trade. As soon as you enter the trade, the broker gives you the money. You say, I'm going to sell a 300 call credit spread, and I'm selling it, and the bid price was 50. Let's say I picked 50 out of the bid column. That means the broker is going to pay me $50 right then. As soon as I enter the trade, I get the $50. To do something else with, I can take that $50 and go buy something else with it. I can go buy another options contract or sell another options. I can go do something else with the $50. It's put into my account.
And there's no amount of time that you have to stay in per se.
No, it's not. You can enter and exit whenever you want to. There is criteria. According, remember we talked about the pattern day trader. You don't want to necessarily open and close the same day unless you either have over 25,000 or you've got a strategy to use that will keep you from using a day trade, or you choose to use a day trade, but you can only use 3 of those in a 5-day window, or they'll block your account. They'll lock your account for 90 days.
Okay, so you go in as a sell and you don't have the 25K, you have to at least watch it to the next day to make sure that it does not go against you, correct?
Yep, you can watch it till the next day, or we actually have a strategy that allows you to exit, quote unquote, the trade without using a day trade. It's another, we have, say we have lots of strategies.
The secrets,
have to
okay.
open up the vault, but there is another strategy for that. So you can, there's ways you can get around using your day trades and still be trading every day. Okay. When you find your desired strikes, you select bid. This is the amount of premium that you're going to receive when you enter the trade, and you keep the money when you win the trade. We're going to talk about, you know, times that what you do to exit or enter and exit. We talked a little bit about out of the money yesterday. As a seller, you want to be out of the money at expiration. Basically, you don't want the price to be at your strike or past your strike at expiration. When you sell a call, you want the price of the underlying to end below your strike price. So if you're selling the 400 call, you want price to be below 400. If you're selling a put, you want the price to be above your 300 put when you sell a put. Do you get penalized for pulling out the expired time, if that makes sense? No, you don't get penalized. No, if you open and close your trade, you don't get penalized for doing that, only if you do more than 3 day trades in a 5-day period of time. But you can do less than 3. And every 5 days, I mean, when you do one in the next 5 days, that one will fall off. So you just have to manage. You just have to manage your day trades as a trader if you want to open and close trades each day. Many of our strategies don't require that you do that. They don't require that you open and close each day. They're set to be multiple day trades. Okay. So how can we make weekly money with stock options? How can we make weekly money? Okay. You can sell cash secured puts. And cash secured puts is basically where you're selling a put, believing price is going to go up. You enter this trade on Monday or Tuesday, let's say. You may have a Friday expiration. You may enter on Thursday with the Friday expiration. You enter the trade, they give you the money right away. All goes well, you keep the money. You can sell covered calls. This is one someone asked if you had to have the stock if you were being a seller. If you're selling covered calls, you do need to have at least 100 shares of this stock in order to sell a covered call against it. Or you need to have a long call, which means you need to have bought a call on that particular equity, or you need to have 100 shares in order to do covered calls. And we show you how to select stocks to buy, so you can own the stock and sell covered calls against it. So basically the stock begins to pay for itself. For example, I did a trade last week where I bought Bed Bath & Beyond, let's say. I bought Bed Bath & Beyond for $1.60, I think it was. So I spent $160 on 100 shares. Then I entered a covered call where I made $25 or $30 for just that week. So I paid $160 for it, right? That was minus $160 for me. But when I did a covered call, they paid me $25. So really all I paid for it was $135. I paid for 100 shares of the stock, because I bought it with my money, then I sold a covered call and they gave me money. So that reduced the cost of the shares. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond has continued to go down. I'm not sure what it's at today. After that week, I ended up selling the stock because I had, made my money back and was like, I'm good. And I closed it off because there's a reason to hold on to shares if Bed Bath & Beyond in this case was continuing to go down. And it was kind of acting like it had some life, but I sold it off and took my money back out of it and went on my way. Went on my way. That's selling covered calls with shares. Okay, we got a strategy for that. Selling vertical credit spreads. This is more of an advanced strategy where you buy a call and you sell a call at the same time. This is a two-legged option play. You buy one and you sell one. Basically, it helps you with protection so you don't lose your shirt if it doesn't do your way, or you're the seller, you take the money in, but you protect yourself on the backside. Okay, a whole lot more explanation to that, but that's the long and short of it. Has anybody ever heard of shorting the stock? If you know the stock is going down and you want to short the stock, this is also a selling option. The stock, let's say, you got, like I said, Bed Bath & Beyond was $1.60 and it was going down. Well, I could have shorted Bed Bath & Beyond, which basically means you're going to borrow shares from the broker at one price. Price is going to go down, and then you're going to sell it back for a lower price, and you keep the money. That's the difference between the two. That's called shorting, another strategy. And we have things to make money. You can buy straddle. This is a buying strategy that we use for high volatility times when a company's having earnings, or when the FOMC is going to have an announcement about inflation, or when some weird announcement happens, or happen in another part of the world. Sometimes we sell straddles so that way we can benefit from the stock going either way. This is how you make money. And these are weekly things, right? So when you're selling, you want time decay. So I can open a sales contract today and have it closed today, which another thing you can do, even though I've told you, you don't want to open and close trades the same day because you only get 3-day trades. If you sell a contract and the price does what you want it to do and it doesn't come to your strike, then it will do what's called expire worthless. When you're selling, you sell at one price. You want the decay, so that way it's worth less. It's worth less money at the end of the day. And if it expires worthless, then you don't have to close it. It just closes on its own, and you don't use a day trade when that happens. Right? If it just closes worthless, you don't use it. If you open it and you close it, that's called a day trade. But if you open it and it closes naturally, then that's not a day trade. What questions do we have?
When you say it closes naturally, you're saying it didn't hit the strike?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying. If I had a 400 call I was selling and the price ended at 398, then it didn't hit my strike. So it's going to expire worthless. It's not going to be worth anything when it expires. So I don't have to close it.
I am not penalized, right?
Right? And you're not penalized. Nope.
Now, is this only when you're selling, or is this also for buying on when you do that too?
So if you're buying, and you get to the end of the day, let's say you bought it for $100 and it's above your strike, like you want it to be for a call. Let's say you bought a call for $100 and it's above the strike you picked, then they'll give you the money. That's the difference between those two. But if you bought it at one strike and it's not at or above that strike at the end of the day, then your trade will expire worthless, no matter how much money it's worth. If you're out of the money, or if it's not at or past that strike, it's basically all of your money is going to get eaten up by theta. The time decay is going to eat up your premiums. So if you're buying, you really need to open and close when you're buying. When you're selling, it can close on its own. This has been a lot. I know we're definitely deep in there. So my question now, we're going to say, where do we go from here? I'm saying to you, where do we go from here? Because you already know there's so much more information. I could keep going all night and we still wouldn't answer all the questions about options. So where do we go from here? Right? We got two paths that you can go. We got two paths. You can say, I'm a novice, like I think it was Natasha who said, I don't know nothing. I don't know much. I don't know nothing. I need some hand holding. I need somebody to walk along with me. Then that one path is this one here. I'm a novice options trader, but I want to be more than a novice. Where you can go from here is to my options 411 4-week live coaching, which means I will stay with you for at least the next 4 weeks. For the rest of this month, we will stay together. I'll get you from A to Z. We'll get your accounts open the right way. We'll get you learning how to chart. I'm going to put on the next page all the stuff that's there, but you get all this stuff and you'll get 1 month of the membership. We talked about the membership a little bit yesterday. You'll get 1 month of the membership and you'll get live coaching with me live, which means I'm not going to just give you a bunch of videos and say, go watch at your own time. I'm going to meet with you every week and we're going to learn how to do options together. Okay. If you say, I'm a little bit more than a novice, I don't really need that kind of hand holding. I don't need all those things you're offering. I'm a more experienced trader. Then you're going the second path, which is to look at the option sellers bundle. The option sellers bundle that I have includes all of those strategies I just talked about, the cash secure puts, the covered calls, the vertical spreads, the shorting, all those things are there. And that's a bundle you get all at one time. And those are in videos, right? And you will also get 1 month of the membership along with that. Okay, so you think about which one of these two areas suit you best. Okay, so this is what's included in the live options coaching. We're going to get your accounts open the right way. We're going to find your way around your platforms. You're going to get you an account, a broker, find your way around your platforms, figure out how to push your own buttons. We're going to work on understanding the lingo because understanding the terminology is a humongous piece of trading options. Understanding what these words mean. I'm going to teach you how to chart, how to use your chart support and resistance. We're going to also go through these strategies we've talked about, selling puts, selling cover calls, selling spreads, doing shorting. We're going to talk about all those. And we're going to help you create your own trading plans for profits for you. Because everybody's trading plan needs to be different. Where one person may be very aggressive as a trader, somebody else is a lot more conservative. Some people have a strong risk aversion, which means they're fine with, they're like the YOLO. Let's throw it all in and see if it, and there's some people who like, I'm trying to just dip in my toe and see how it goes, right? People are different. So you have to have a trading plan that suits your style. Yesterday in the email I sent you, I also gave you a link to the trading strategy for you, like trading for your personality. If you didn't use that, please go and do that because it'll help you to see what kinds of things you need to assess within yourself to determine what strategies are best suited for you. Okay. And you're going to get access to the E2T membership for 1 month, which basically in the membership, we have morning calls, afternoon calls, Saturday coaching. People are there. We got a Telegram group. We got all the stuff, all the things. Okay. That's the 4 weeks live coaching, includes all that stuff. The cost of the 4 weeks live coaching is $297. It's usually $997 because I charge $100 an hour for just one-on-one time with me. Actually, it's more than that now. I used to charge $100 an hour. It went up. It went up. Now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, we're talking about 4 weeks at least of live coaching, at least 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, if not more. And at $100 an hour, we're way over $297. Right? All that's included, $297 at the website is there. If you need all the extra stuff, if you're a novice and you want all that, then that's where we get it. If you feel like you don't need all those things, right? You can kind of muscle your way through with no problems. Then look at the bundle. The seller's bundle includes options 411 class, which you all already have. I gave you that when you signed up for the boot camp. It includes vertical credit spreads. It includes the SPX Power Hour strategy. The Power Hour strategy is the one that we use every single day to make money. We go in together as a group at 3 o'clock every single afternoon, and we use credit spreads on SPX to make money every single day. Okay, we open our trades in the 3-ish window and we let them go. We pick spots where we believe price is not going to come to, and we let the time expire. At the end of at 4 o'clock, our trades expire worthless. Everybody, Jamie plays music for us, and we do celebrate good times. Come on, we do it every day. People make money every single day. Okay, we do that together. That strategy is in this bundle. Covered calls is there, cash secure puts, shorting shares, and as a bonus, I put in there debit spreads. These are what, 7 different ways, 7 different streams of income. You talking about we're gonna multiply our streams of income. You can pull 7 streams of income right out of the stock market and never leave the comfort of your home. Never have to go buy a piece of real estate. Of course, you should buy real estate, because I'm definitely, all about buying real estate too. You don't have to go get a Shopify store. You don't have to go do any couriering. You just can do all of it from your house. That bundle is $247. It includes everything. This is all videos. It's actually, you can have immediate access to it, and you also get 1 month of the Educator to Trader membership with that. Make your choice, right? If neither of those suits you, like, I don't need either one of them things. All I really want is the membership. You want to hang out with us in the membership. Well, there's 2 tiers. Tier 2 is $67 a month, where you get morning calls, afternoon calls. Every other Saturday we do coaching, and there's an exclusive Telegram. That's tier 2 for $67. For tier 3, if you want a little bit more, the platinum level is $97 a month, and you get live trading at the open 1 day a week. You have a free one-on-one with me. You have morning calls, afternoon calls, bi-weekly coaching, and the exclusive Telegram. This you're going to get for free in either one of those other 2 choices. When I said you can be a novice or you can be more experienced, you're going to get 1 month of the membership with either one of those purchases. Okay, I'm going to show you what our calendar, this is what our calendar, talk about an eye chart. This is what our E2T calendar looks like. And people don't come to everything. Sometimes they come to a lot. I record everything. So we have recordings of stuff, but people come to different things that work for them. If the morning suits you, some people are on the call in the morning while they're driving to work or while they're getting dressed. Some people come to the power hour in the afternoon. Some people are busy working and they can only make the power hour sometimes, or they have the call going while they're still working. People come onto the calls as they decide they want or that they need. Right? And then every other Saturday, we do our coaching. This month, we're coaching on shorting. I'm going to teach on shorting this Saturday, and then 2 weeks from now, we'll teach on that again. And I'll also add in credit spreads if we need to go back and check on credit spreads again. On the second Saturday of each month, we play this game online. Jamie leads it. It's called Cash Flow 101. It's based on Robert Kiyosaki's game, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's basically a way for you to learn financial management in a game setting, where you pick up different not tidbits, you pick up different, not gibbets, it's called something. You pick up the different things, and then you see what kind of salary do you get. It's a whole game about financial life. And we play that together every second Saturday for about an hour and a half as a community. Okay, who's got questions? Who's got questions?
Okay, so I'm assuming this is so with the live membership that that you just discussed, I
Mhm.
get to schedule time that's convenient for me, right? It's not like I have to.
So we'll work on group times because depending on how many people I have, I can't schedule everybody individually for all the times, but we'll definitely work on getting times that are going to work for the majority of the people so that we can make sure that we cover as many people as possible.
Oh, okay, so it's group, it's not one-on-one.
You're right. It's a group.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. I forgot to mention this, for the 4 weeks live option coaching, I did break this up into 2 payments if 2 payments is going to be better suited for your finances. But it's 1 payment this week and 1 payment next week. So it just gives you a week between the 2 payments, but it does break it into $250 payments if you didn't want to or couldn't pay the $297 all at one time. Jamie, you're getting ready to say something? Go ahead. Hey, Jennifer.
So I had bought the courses. Would I be better off just doing the weekly meetings, or would that
I feel
probably
like you would, Jennifer, and the reason I say that is because you've had the courses, but
Mhm.
going through them hasn't worked for you.
Yeah,
right?
I just haven't the confidence to just put it out there yet.
Yeah.
So
So I
okay.
think if you were like doing it, we were doing it together and you were doing it in more of a live setting, then that's going to move you, it's going to move the ball down the field a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay, so that would probably be my best bet.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else got questions?
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
So, is this something that we will have to do today, or do we have time to come up with the funds in order
You have
to?
time. You have time. I'm actually going to start it next week. We did these 2. I'll continue to market it till it's full. Once it gets full, it'll be full because I can't handle but so many people at a time. But yeah, there's some more time. I think I'm going to start maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So that gives us some time, gives you a little less than a week to gather up your coins and then get registered and get signed up.
Okay. And when starting this, do we have to have a certain amount of money to start with the options, or?
Not necessarily. I mean, if you have a broker, like if you have TD Ameritrade, you can start, which I would suggest you strongly start by paper trading or trading in your sim anyway. We're not going to start off with live money because we don't know enough to do live money yet. So we're going to start with just paper trading or sim trading, which is why I think TD Ameritrade is a little bit better than like a Robinhood. Robinhood doesn't have a practice area. You can't practice if you have Robinhood. So, but yeah, we're going to start off with paper trading or practicing because we want to get comfortable with your platform first and understanding what's going on. So there's not necessarily a certain amount of money you need to have to start this whole process, but you will need to be ready to put at least $100 in there over the course of the next month so that when we are ready to get started, you have some money there to start with.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Arlissa, we'll send the payment the same way through the PayPal like we did for this training.
Yep. So if you go to the Educator2Trader website, go ahead and close out thing. Oh, there we go. Well, what did you do? Okay. At my Educator2Trader website, I'll show you here that when you're here, the membership is the first one here. If you wanted to just do the membership, you can sign up with that, the first one. The next item here is the 4 weeks live stock options coaching. Basically, it'll go for the month of March, right? And then if you just want to get the bundle, it's over here to the right. So these are the top 3 items are the things we've just talked about today. And you still use PayPal. My payment processor is only PayPal. Okay. Jamie, were you getting ready to say something?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
All right.
I wanted to mention with the brokerage, in terms of depositing money, many times they are not even asking you to deposit a whole lot of money. But when you do, you can get certain features turned on for your account. So for example, with Thinkorswim, they have the paper money account, but when you first like log into it, the data that you're getting might be on the delay, but you might have to deposit $200, $500, whatever, and they'll give you the real time data. So then you'll still be paper trading, but you'll get the real time data to do it with. And the money is just sitting there in the account, kind of, waiting for you to be able to trade it live. So be aware of that with some of the brokerages that, there comes with a perk, even if you're not going to trade, but, some of us kind of use it almost like just an extra savings account, because you don't have to use it, but it can help out your paper trading data feed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What other questions?
Someone is asking how much is the bundle?
The bundle, $247. $247 is the bundle. Okay, let me go back to these screens. We had the 4 weeks live option coaching at $297 for the month of March, and it includes a free month of the membership, which you see that's $97 by itself, doesn't include all that other stuff. And or the bundle here, $247, you've got 7 separate strategy courses all tied in there together for $247. And you get 1 month of the membership. Or if you just want to do the membership, you can just go directly there and sign up for the membership for $67 or $97. The thing is, when you're in the membership, all that stuff I just talked about, all the courses and stuff, those things are separate. So if you just decide, I'm just going to do the membership, then it's not going to automatically include the courses that go along with the different strategies. So you'll be in the membership hanging out with us, listening to the things that we talk about for the morning call and the afternoon call. But if the strategy is not something you know about, then we could just be talking to the wall, because you would need to have the strategies too. So it would be best, if you're thinking about that, to get all the strategies together. Yvette is asking, how much is a one-on-one? I really want to say I charge $250 for one-on-ones. They went up. I used to charge $100, and then I went up because I was doing what I provide is greater than that. So I went up with what the value is. I went up a little bit with the value. So what is the wrap up? Let's wrap up today. Unless we got some more questions, I'm still willing to answer questions.
How do people get the replay?
I sent them through email. The email that you signed up with, Jennifer, did you not see that yesterday?
I just hadn't looked back at it. I didn't know.
I sent an email. I sent a couple emails out yesterday and today, and the replay is attached to those, and I will do the same thing with this one. Or you can log into the Educator2Trader website where you purchased this. If you sign in up here, the course that's available to you, the Bootcamp is the one that you signed up for. If you go to the Bootcamp icon and click it, then the replays are also in there. Replays are here. The slides are there. I also included today, Jamie, did you put the link? Yes, you did. I included this quick start guide. Of course, now I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I included this quick start guide. It's about 2 or 3 pages of questions that you should ask yourself when you're starting to work on options trading. And it's some thought processing questions, not just things about option trading. I mean, about like option trading, but it's about mindset, some mindset questions like, why do you want to? What do you think is the thing that's standing in your way? You know, things like that. There it is. I attached this to the boot camp, and I will also attach it to your email with the link. But basically, it's a quick start guide, and it asks some questions like, why do you want to trade options? Who's your broker? Did you find your broker? Selling versus buying, of the strategies you heard about, what interests you the most? What is your education plan? Which means what do you plan on doing to make sure that you can assimilate this information? Because it's going to require some seat time. These things are going to require, this is a piece of education it's going to require you to learn, okay? What do you see as your greatest roadblock? Do you see yourself as aggressive with your money or more reserved? This makes a difference. How do you feel about losing money? And what is your action plan? What are your next 5 steps towards this goal? This is also in the boot camp, and I'll put it in the email. Okay, let's wrap up. Determine which of these offers best suits what your desires are. You know, I'm completely aware that options trading is not necessarily for everyone. It can be, and there is plenty of opportunity there. It will require a little work on your part, but there's lots of opportunity that's there. Our live coaching is going to start next Wednesday, March 8th, and I put a star next to that because that's going to be based on what the group wants to do. If we can set another time that works better for everybody, then we'll work a time that works for the majority of the group. The seller's bundle is available now for immediate access. If you get the bundle, then you have access to those courses right away. Whenever you get them, you have access to all those courses immediately. Continue watching the videos that I attached to the boot camp. If you didn't watch those yet, watch those videos too. That talks about options 411 and goes in a little bit deeper for the things that we talked about today about calls and puts and selling and buying. All that stuff is definitely explained even much more deeper inside those videos. Watch this replay if you need to. Watch yesterday's replay, watch today's replay. Ask some more questions if you need to. Y'all can find me on Messenger. You can find me if you're on Telegram, I'm there. Send me a message or send me an email and I'll reply. I respond. You know, I believe me, I am probably far more accessible than I should be. I'm very accessible, and it's not just because I don't got nothing else to do. It's just I feel like I should be accessible to people who are trading along with us. So I'm very accessible. And then follow me on the social media. I'm on all the platforms. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm in all the places. We got a Facebook group. If you want to join the Educator2Trader Facebook group, go ahead and join that and I'll let you in. Yeah, follow me. You can find us in all the places. Jamie, is there anything you want to say to close up, to wrap up? Anything you want to say?
I would just say that I'm glad that everybody who purchased, we were able to see you and hopefully, help you on your trading journey. We hope to see you in our community. And just remember that trading is like any other skill that you're learning. It's not an overnight thing. It's definitely required some sharpening and some honing. But it's like anything else, as long as you continue to do it, you'll grow into it.
That's right.
So hopefully we'll see you guys on the other side.
That was a good one. As long as you continue to do it, you'll grow into it. I might have to borrow that, sir. I like that one. Anybody else? Are we good? All righty. Well, if you've got more questions, please be sure to ask me. Otherwise, I'm so grateful that you all chose to spend the 2-day boot camp with us. I will flat out say, I want to be your coach. I want to help you utilize the stock market to generate income. I'm big on us being able to have choices, because there's nothing worse than being in a situation where you feel like you don't have a choice. And many times finances is what helps you have a choice. You can decide, I'm not doing that today because I'm not doing that because I don't need to. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be reduced to dollar figures. And when you generate and when you have power and you can generate your own resources, then you don't get worried about what the things around you are doing. The stock market has been here for hundreds of years. It will still be here through the recession and through inflation. And the strategies that we teach will ride you through inflation. They'll ride you through the recession, where we make money when the stock is going up. We make money when the stock is going down. It don't even matter. We make money every single day, regardless. So if you're concerned about that, which many people are concerned about what their family is going to be like, are they going to be able to continue to take care of their families and take care of their households, then we have to take on new skills. That means we can have more control over that for ourselves, where you don't have to worry about how many interest rate points they go up. I'll trade for it. I'll use my strategies and I will supplement my income by way of the stock market. It is one of the surest ways to generational wealth. It's one of the surest ways, right? Warren Buffett owns stock. That's how he's wealthy. He owns stock. Now, I'm not saying we got to own stock, but you can, but you trade options to get the money so you can buy stock, and then where you're an owner of the company. Everybody has goals and they have objectives for the money. You don't learn how to trade because you want the money. You want the money for something else. Yeah, you want the money, but you want the money so you can fund your retirement. You want the money so you can fund a vacation. You want the money so you can maybe come off a job you're not crazy about. You want the money so you can put your kids through college. You want the money so you can help take care of your parents. It's not just the money. The money is leading you to something else, right? So we have to put in some time to learn a new skill, which all of us are professional people here. So we've all learned something in the past. So don't feel like, I'm never going to learn it. Yeah, you will. You put the time in, you will. You will. And we're here to help. All righty. That was my inspirational moment. And I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell, and I'm going to say good night. Good night, sweetheart. It's time.
All right. Good night, Arlissa. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Night.
Alyssa.
Bye-bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye-bye. David, you didn't say a word the whole time we were here. Bye-bye.